Hi, everyone. Today I'm here to talk about Squadron AI. Squadron AI is an AI powered code review tool that is a GitHub application. Provides a number of different benefits, such as issue analysis. You could do real time chat through the comment system in GitHub, effectively adding a team member without actually adding someone to your team. So, Squadron AI is an AI powered GitHub application. So, right now it currently supports GitHub only. Provides a number of different benefits. Again, it'll do pull request code reviews. You could do chat through the comment system. If you link an issue to a pull request, it will review the issue and check to see if you've effectively met the criteria. So we'll take into consideration the full issue, comments, and that discussion that has taken place on the issue. And it'll also send daily reports. And the daily reports are nice because it'll give you kind of a overview of what's happened in your repository in the last 24 hours. It'll show you issues that have been opened, pull request, whether they've been opened or closed, and give you kind of a breakdown from like a business feature perspective. Um, the meaningfulness behind a lot of the comments. Are they kind of just questions? Do they seem like bugs? Does it seem like a critical feature? There's a lot of kind of useful information in there that you just can't get in GitHub, right? So one of the driving factors with the daily report, if you're a busy team and you have, a lot to manage, or maybe you're managing multiple repositories, it gives you a single place to go that you can look at all of that kind of history within the repository and get up to speed very, very quickly. So it's a nice overview. It helps kind of keep you focused on things and you don't have to manually surf through issues and pull requests. So really great for active repositories. And again, the issue part of it, if you're using GitHub and you're using, project boards or using issues in there, then this is, obviously a very, very good fit. In the future, I think there'll be further integrations into other kind of work management systems, maybe something like Jira or Azure Boards. There's, I think, a lot of opportunity. So one of the nice things with Squadron AI, again, is it's automated, right? So it's easy as just kind of signing up. There's a free trial of it available, so you could try it out. Now, Squadron offers the ability to use both GPT and Anthropic models like Sonnet 3.5. That is currently probably the best, in my opinion, the best code-driven model on the market. You can actually choose that per repository. So you have the ability to configure Squadron. There's a lot of information out on the document website, so you can go out there and you can see how to configure it, and how to kind of vary it per repository. You're installing the GitHub app, and it's as simple as submitting a pull request. So right now I have a pull request up here. So I'll go ahead and open the pull request here. You can see that Squadron has acknowledged the fact that it's ready to review the pull request. And right now it's reviewing. Within usually a couple of seconds, maybe a minute or two at the worst, it's already done its code review here. And if it doesn't automatically pop up, I'll just refresh the screen here. Again, this is on GitHub. The nice thing with Squadron is there's unlimited repositories. You can have unlimited public, unlimited private repositories. One of the nice things with Squadron is, you're having the ability to get a code review without actually involving someone from your team. Now, and that's pretty powerful because when you have a team that's busy, and especially if you're managing multiple repositories or you're just, doing a lot of work, right? Having an extra set of eyes can just be extremely helpful because one of the things that Squadron's going to do is it's going to come in and it's going to give you a summary of the pull request. So it's going to give you a really good idea of what was changed, what they were trying to accomplish in the pull request. It'll also give you kind of a breakdown of every single file that was changed, what was changed in those files. And this is this summary and the file summaries are kept up to date as you're iterating on the pull request. So a pull request could be, a draft, or it could be a normal pull request that's ready for a review. Now, the nice thing is that as you iterate, Squadron will incrementally review your pull requests as you're editing them, and you'll actually be able to see the commit ranges that Squadron has reviewed, which is really helpful because now you're able to kind of have a nice, kind of clear trail on your side. What exactly is Squadron reviewing? And you could click this. This is the actual link, and this will bring you to those commits that were modified, right? So just a kind of a nice way to kind of stay connected to the UI here and to give you some insight into the process. So you'll see a number of different comments, and these comments again are based on a small kind of sample testing repo here. If Squadron feels confident in the fact that the the changes that it's recommending are able to be committed. So you'll see that it'll use that suggestion feature, which is a markdown feature in GitHub. And what's really nice about this is you can just hit the commit suggestion button and automatically commit the code for you. Not every circumstance allows you to do that. So in some cases, it'll just kind of give you a a simple kind of informational message. In some cases, it'll allow you to kind of go through and have a commit. It's not entirely perfect because code's very complex, right? So line endings, formatting, and things like that. So this is kind of a really nice feature. It is a little bit of a work in progress here. One of the other cool features that I'm going to show is, let's say I have a comment left on my pull request, and it's digging into a particular issue, and in this case it's talking about the currency. And so in my product page here, I have a format as currency button, and it's using the navigator language, and it's just kind of telling you that this could lead to issues. And essentially it's trying to um, kind of refactor away. So let's see here. Approach may lead to inconsistencies. Consider accepting the currency as a parameter or using a more robust localization strategy. And that's a pretty good point. So let's see here. What strategies, I can't spell, do you recommend for handling locales? So I could go ahead and I can leave a comment here. And what's nice is that this particular change, right, is associated to a file, and it's a particular change within that file. So using the UI here that's already in place in GitHub, you're able to kind of write a comment, have a response, and you can have a conversation with Squadron right here in the UI. And you can see what it offers as a suggestion, and you could kind of drill into that with this pretty much real-time chat. So I'm going to go ahead and just refresh here because it doesn't always kind of like, server sent events or socket load. So what's really cool here is I just kind of asked it, what strategies do you recommend for handling user locales and the currency formatting here? And they give you a lot of different options here and information on what you can do. So this is a really great feature here, the real-time chat feature. So let's talk a little bit about what makes Squadron unique. Squadron is one of the only AI systems, at least that I'm aware of, that allows you to pull in code context that spans files. So when you're modifying code and you submit your pull request, you might have something like that's kind of on the screen here, right? So a good example of this is like, okay, I have a function. This is just some, simple JavaScript, TypeScript function. And in here, I'm referencing something external, right? So payments.validate. Now that's not within the scope of my function, but what Squadron is able to do is it's able to drill down into the code, find external references, and then pull those references in real time across files and pulls that information out. And it will pull the implementation details too. This was just kind of a simplistic example here. But let's say payments was an instance of a class, and it's in a different file. And your validate method is here, and you have this validate method signature. I just don't have it here just for kind of brevity's sake. But the nice thing is that Squadron does this in real time, and it doesn't rely on the kind of RAG approach that a lot of AI apps rely on. So, in other words, when you think about RAG applications, if you're familiar with them, it's kind of storing all of the code, right, and then doing some kind of lookup and looking for similarities. Um, these generally fall kind of short with code applications because the problem is that it's just kind of matching on words and what it thinks is similar. Squadron actually doesn't do that. We don't store your code. we actually go and we look up the information real time across your code base on every code change. And we pull all of that external code and include it into the application. Squadron's the only application to do that. And any other systems that offer code context are either limited to inside of the same file or are storing your code and doing some kind of vector search. Now, Squadron again does not do that, which is one of the nice kind of features of Squadron that allows it to give deep context across your code base and provide that to the large language model, again, without storing your code and across file. And it's the actual code, not what it thinks is the code by doing a similarity search. So again, some of the cool features here that I've showed you, I will kind of leave off here with one of the daily reports, and this is just an example from one of the repositories using Squadron here. So again, there's no, this is an open source repository. It's not a repository that's private or anything like that. And this is really helpful because this particular repository is using GitHub, right? They're using GitHub issues. Things are tagged, in the various pull requests, and they're working against these, issues in their code changes, right? So you get a nice summary of kind of like, hey, here's enhancements. Maybe there's questions to how functionality works. Maybe there's some particular bugs, and it'll kind of outline them, and it'll give you links to be able to click and go into issues. It'll also give you the ability to kind of get like a little summary on exactly what it is, and you can kind of scroll down here. You can see there's some questions, trends and patterns, which is kind of nice, stakeholder highlights, and next steps. So this the format of this report and the content, and it's still a little bit of a work in progress, but our goal here is to provide kind of one place, which is the Squadron web application that you can go into and start doing some repository management type features, right? So one of the other things is you'll have metrics. And the cool thing is here with the metrics is you can get an idea of like, how many pull requests, how many files have been reviewed, are there comments, and this will just show you kind of over the last 7 days of the application. And again, we're still kind of tweaking things here to try to figure out like what's the most meaningful, what do people want to see, and what are additional features that the AI can help with that's not built into GitHub already. And again, this is just part of the Squadron subscription. As these features grow over time, they'll just become available for you within the web app. So I hope you've really enjoyed the video today. I just really wanted to kind of go over Squadron, talk a little bit about, what my perception is in terms of the value add. Again, in my opinion, coming into a pull request, especially if it's a larger pull request, or if you're kind of bouncing between, various areas or applications, coming in, seeing a nice summary, and then of course your developers might actually leave. I did not, but they might leave a description with information that kind of helps the reviewer. But sometimes just kind of having just a nice kind of overview and being able to just kind of go and break things down and look at things is nice as well because context switching, being an engineer is tough, right? Squadron is not here to replace engineering. It's really help you kind of hone in, review your code, act as another team member and say, "Hey, you know what? This could probably be a little better. This could probably be a little different. Have you thought about this?" And it's really here to kind of enhance the code that you're writing, right? It's not going to refactor files for you. Although there are a lot of exciting features down the road that are coming around code context and being able to do more with the proprietary system of pulling that code context, but more to come on that in the future. Anyhow, thank you.